There's a black powder that emergency rooms have been using since 1834 to pull poison out of people before it reaches their bloodstream. Veterinarians keep it on hand for when your dog eats something it should not have. Poison control centers recommend it, and almost nobody owns it. It costs $12 for a 1-pound bag on Amazon, enough to last your entire household for years. And it has 7 documented uses that range from saving lives in a poisoning emergency to pulling parasites out of your gut, protecting your kidneys, clearing mold toxins from your body, and whitening your teeth without a single synthetic chemical. Stick with me through all 7 because number 3 is going to show you exactly how to use this powder to save a life, including how to administer it to a baby, a child, or your pet in an emergency before help arrives. Number 5 is the parasite use that almost nobody talks about. And stay until the very end because I am going to give you a complete formula using this powder that you can make at home for around 50 cents. That does something to your indoor air quality that a $200 air purifier cannot fully replicate. Let us go. But first, what this powder actually is and why it does what it does. Because the history of how this was discovered is one of the most fascinating moments in medical history. The year is 1831. A French pharmacist named Pierre Fleurus Thury walks into a meeting of the French Academy of Medicine and does something that should have killed him in front of the entire room. He swallows 10 times the lethal dose of strychnine, one of the most deadly poisons known at the time, mixed with activated charcoal. He stands there. He does not die. He does not even get sick. The room goes silent. Thury had just demonstrated in the most dramatic way possible that activated charcoal could neutralize a lethal poison inside a living human body. That moment is documented. It is real. And it is why emergency rooms have kept this powder on their shelves ever since. What activated charcoal actually is regular charcoal, wood, or coconut shells, heated to extreme temperatures in the presence of gas. That process blows millions of microscopic internal pores throughout the material. 1 single gram of this powder has a surface area of between 500 and 1,500 square meters, the surface area of a small apartment, inside a piece of material the size of your thumbnail. Every one of those pores is available for a process called adsorption, where toxin molecules are physically attracted to the surface and bond to it. The charcoal traps them. They exit your body with the charcoal instead of crossing into your bloodstream. That is the mechanism. It is not magic. It is physics. And it works on 7 different problems in your body and your home. Number 1, poisoning and overdose. The ASPCA animal. Poison Control Center handles over 200,000 cases per year. Poison control centers for humans field millions of calls annually. The single most common intervention in the first hour of a poisoning event is activated charcoal. A 2024 systematic review and meta-analysis confirmed that activated charcoal administration reduces drug plasma concentration, lowers the risk of cardiac arrhythmia, and measurably improves outcomes in poisoning cases. It is most effective within the first hour of ingestion, before the toxin crosses the gut wall into the bloodstream. That 1-hour window is why having it at home matters. The ambulance response time in most of North America is 8 to 14 minutes. By the time you call, wait, describe the situation, and get transported, that window is closing or already closed. The emergency dose for an adult is 25 to 100 grams mixed into a glass of water. It turns the water black and has almost no taste. Mix it fast and drink it immediately. Do not induce vomiting first. Activated charcoal works on what is in the gut, and vomiting can cause aspiration. Call Poison Control at 1-800-222-1222 in the U.S. simultaneously. They will walk you through the rest. For a child, the dose is lower, roughly 1 gram per kilogram of body weight. A 20-pound child is roughly 9 kilograms, so 9 grams mixed in water or juice. Mix it and get the child to drink it while you call for help. It will turn their stool black for the next day or 2. That is normal. That is the charcoal leaving the body. Number 2, for your pet. And this one is the call you're not ready for at 11 at night. Dogs eat things they should not. Always. Rat poison, chocolate, human medications left on a counter, toxic plants, xylitol and sugar-free gum. The ASPCA handles these calls constantly, and activated charcoal is the standard first-line response when a dog or cat ingests a toxin and is still asymptomatic. Veterinarians administer it as a slurry, powder mixed with water or canned food. The recommended veterinary dose is 1 to 3 grams per kilogram of body weight. A 20-pound dog is roughly 9 kilograms, so 9 to 27 grams, mixed with water or a small amount of canned food to encourage ingestion. The critical rules: it must be administered within 1 to 2 hours of ingestion. If the animal is already showing symptoms, vomiting, tremors, disorientation, it is too late for charcoal, and you need an emergency vet immediately. Do not force it if the animal is struggling. Aspiration into the lungs is the main danger. If your dog is conscious, alert, and you know it, ingested something toxic in the last hour, mixing a dose of food-grade activated charcoal powder into wet food and getting it consumed while you drive to the emergency vet may make the difference between treatment and a crisis. The emergency vet number for the ASPCA poison control is 888-264-435. Program it into your phone right now. Keep the powder on hand, not the capsules for this use. The powder mixed as a slurry is what vets use because it has far more contact surface than a capsule. Number 3, gas and bloating. And this one has regulatory approval most people do not know about. The European Food Safety Authority, the European equivalent of the FDA, has formally determined that there is sufficient scientific evidence to support the claim that activated charcoal contributes to the reduction of excessive intestinal gas. That is a regulatory body approving a health claim, not a supplement company, not a wellness blog. The EFSA recommends at least 1 gram 30 minutes before and after each meal. A 2020 study confirmed it reduces gastrointestinal gas efficiently, describing it as an inexpensive, safe, and easy-to-use method. The mechanism is the same adsorption process. Gas building up in the digestive tract binds to the charcoal surface before it reaches the point of bloating or discomfort. The capsule form works well for this use. Now, Foods makes a 200 capsule bottle of activated charcoal from coconut shells. Food grade, non-GMO, verified, for around $14 to $16 on Amazon. That is enough for months of use at 1 to 2 capsules per meal. 2 capsules before a meal you know will cause problems is the protocol. The stool turns black. That is the charcoal moving through normally. Number 4, cholesterol reduction. And this is the one from The Lancet that nobody talks about. A 1986 study published in The Lancet, one of the most prestigious medical journals in the world, documented a 41% reduction in LDL cholesterol in patients taking 8 grams of activated charcoal 3 times daily. 41%. The mechanism is not what most people expect. Activated charcoal does not dissolve cholesterol or block its production. What it does is bind bile acids in the gut. Your liver makes bile from cholesterol and releases it to break down dietary fats. Most of that bile normally gets reabsorbed and recycled. When activated charcoal is present, it captures those bile acids before reabsorption happens. The liver then has to produce fresh bile, pulling more cholesterol out of the bloodstream to do it. The net result is measurably lower circulating LDL. That result, from a peer-reviewed study in a top-tier journal, at a cost of pennies per dose, exists in the published literature and is almost never mentioned in mainstream cholesterol conversations. Number 5, parasites. And this is where it gets interesting. Activated charcoal does not kill parasites directly. Let me be precise about what it actually does, because what it does is genuinely significant and the mechanism is documented. Intestinal parasites produce toxins as byproducts of their activity in the gut. Those toxins are what cause much of the fatigue, bloating, brain fog, and systemic inflammation associated with parasitic infections. Activated charcoal binds those toxins in the gut before they can be absorbed into the bloodstream, reducing the toxic load while other treatments address the parasites themselves. It also binds to certain metabolic byproducts that parasites depend on for signaling and reproduction. This is why activated charcoal is increasingly used as a supportive therapy alongside antiparasitic protocols in integrative medicine, not as the primary treatment, but as a significant secondary layer that reduces symptoms and supports clearance. The same principle applies to your pets. Dogs and cats with worm burdens produce gut toxins from parasite activity. Activated charcoal in a slurry alongside antiparasitic treatment helps manage that toxic load. Several veterinary antiparasitic protocols include activated charcoal as a supportive measure specifically for this reason. If your pet is being treated for worms or giardia, ask your vet about adding charcoal support to the protocol. Number 6, kidney function support. The one almost nobody has heard. Your kidneys filter urea and nitrogen waste compounds produced by protein digestion. In people with chronic kidney disease, that filtering capacity declines and those compounds accumulate in the blood. What most people do not know is that a significant portion of that filtration burden can be intercepted in the gut before it ever reaches the kidneys. A 2013 animal study found that activated charcoal administration produced significant reductions in intestinal inflammation and damage in subjects with chronic kidney disease. A 2014 study found meaningfully improved kidney function markers in subjects fed diets containing activated charcoal. The mechanism is the same. Activated charcoal binds urea and nitrogen waste compounds in the digestive tract, preventing reabsorption and reducing the total load the kidneys have to process. This is not a cure and is not a replacement for medical treatment, but as a supportive measure for anyone managing kidney stress and for aging. Adults whose kidney function naturally declines over time, it is one of the most scientifically coherent and least discussed tools in that entire conversation. Number 7, teeth whitening, quickly and honestly. Activated charcoal whitens teeth. Peer-reviewed studies confirm a measurable whitening effect. The mechanism is adsorption. The porous surface physically binds surface-stained compounds on enamel and lifts them when rinsed away. The honest caveat is, it is mildly abrasive, so scrubbing too hard or too often can scratch enamel over time. Wet your toothbrush, dip it in the powder, brush gently for 2 minutes, rinse thoroughly, once or twice a week maximum. It is not as dramatic as peroxide whitening, but it contains 0 synthetic bleaching agents and costs fractions of a cent per use. Now, the bonus. The powder formula. And this is worth staying for. A 1-pound bag of food-grade activated charcoal powder on Amazon. Brands like Vivadoria, bulk supplements, or Smart Solutions. Runs approximately $12 to $15 right now. That 1-pound bag contains enough powder for years of household use across every application in this video, plus this one. Here is the indoor air formula. Get a shallow breathable container, a ceramic bowl, a mesh bag, a small linen sachet. Fill it with roughly half a cup of activated charcoal powder. Place it in a room where air quality concerns you. A basement, a bathroom, a bedroom, room that smells musty, a space where someone has been sick, a closet that stays damp. Activated charcoal powder in open air absorbs volatile organic compounds, formaldehyde off-gassing from furniture and carpets, ammonia, hydrogen sulfide, and airborne mycotoxins from mold spores continuously and passively. The same mechanism that makes it bind toxins in your gut makes it pull airborne chemical compounds onto its surface from the surrounding air. A $200 air purifier uses a carbon filter, which is an activated charcoal compressed into a cartridge as one of its filtration stages. You're getting a significant portion of that same function from 50 cents worth of powder in a bowl. Recharge it monthly by spreading the powder on a tray in direct sunlight for a full day. UV exposure releases the absorbed compounds from the pores and resets the material back to full capacity. 1 bag maintained this way lasts an entire year or more, for musty closets specifically. A small open container of activated charcoal powder in the back of the closet absorbs both odors and moisture-carried compounds continuously. Replace or recharge every 4 to 6 weeks. It will not kill mold on surfaces. Be honest about that. But it will significantly reduce the airborne mycotoxin load in the space, which is what is actually making you sick when you have a mold problem. 1 more powder application. Bug bites, stings, and minor skin irritation. Mix a small amount of activated charcoal powder with just enough water to form a thick paste. Apply to the bite or sting, cover with a bandage, and leave for 20 to 30 minutes. Rinse off. The same adsorption that pulls toxins from your gut pulls venom compounds and inflammatory irritants from the skin surface, reducing swelling, itching, and redness. This is used by emergency field medics and documented in wilderness medicine literature as an improvised treatment for minor envenomation when no other treatment is available. A bee sting or fire ant bite treated this way stops itching noticeably faster than leaving it alone. What to buy? 2 things. The powder. Food grade, activated charcoal powder, 1 pound, coconut or hardwood derived, $12 to $15 on Amazon from brands like Vivadoria, bulk supplements, or Nutricost. The powder is what you use for emergency poisoning response, for pets, for the air formula, for the bug bite paste, for teeth whitening. Keep it in a sealed container in your medicine cabinet. The capsules. For everyday use, like gas relief, cholesterol support, and kidney support where convenience matters. Now, foods. 200 veg capsules from coconut shells runs $14 to $16. That is around 200 doses. The capsules are pre-measured, travel-friendly, and dissolve reliably in the digestive tract. Both together, under $30. 1 emergency powder that has been in use since a French pharmacist swallowed a lethal dose of strychnine in front of a room full of scientists in 1831 and walked out alive. Go buy it now. It is worth very dollars. That's it for me today. Hope you learned a lot, and I'll see you in the next one.